My name is Kibonen Nfi, and I'm a fashion designer. I am from Cameroon originally. I live in New York City in Harlem, which I love. And I'm at the Art Institute of New York City studying fashion. I'm going to graduate in June with a degree in applied science fashion design. I really felt like I wanted to do fashion designing in 2011. In as much as I had started fashion in 2009, I was still playing with it, treating it like a hobby, and just being, carried away by the fun and the glamour and the creativity. But the moment I realized that there is a lot of money to be made in fashion, and I decided to take it to the next level, was in 2011. And that forced me to even get enrolled in school later on, though, in 2013. Yeah. I think the Art Institute's program for fashion is so deep. They take you from like knowing nothing to like being a full-fledged, designer. I mean, when I got into the Art Institute, I did not even know how to sew. The first day I put my foot on the sewing machine, I was like, Jesus Lord. But then, the teachers are so patient. They take you from scratch. They give you the knowledge that you need to be able to develop your talent and excel, and they equally make you very comfortable and confident. At the Art Institute, honestly, I feel like they push you beyond your limits. And they always tell us the industry is not cool. The industry is not a joke. You have to be on your feet. You have to really master your subject matter, and you have to be able to really define and articulate yourself so that you can carve your niche. And those are the things I'm learning there, which I don't think I would have found in any other school. That was in 2012, actually, when I was doing my Indiegogo campaign to raise funds for Mercedes-Benz South Africa. That was like such an amazing experience for me because, sometimes you're so shy in your little corner. You don't want people to really understand what you're going through. Things could be really tough, but you're just like, oh my God, I don't want people to know that I don't have money to be able to do this and that. But I remember one thing I always learned from people who have been in fashion, like you cannot be shy. All that has to matter is your talent. So when I went out there and I did a request for funds, it was so impressive how people reacted. I raised almost $4,000 in about 2 weeks. This was actually the money I used for my trip to South Africa to pay for my registration, my flight, and a couple of people also donated so many other things in kind. Somebody got a flight for me. Somebody got it was just so interesting the different ways that people reacted to it. And it's just the thing where they say, if you do not ask, you're not going to get it. You're not going to know how much people want you to succeed if you just sit in your corner and you're doing what you want to do. And also for me, I realized that the journey is not about the goal, it's about the process. And the biggest thing for me in this entire process is me being able to share my experiences with every other person who might be creative or who might have something deep within, but just finds it completely hard to be bold enough to follow it. I'm just like a living example of that person who came from nowhere, but just because I really want what I want, I'm going after it in every way. There's no taking of any no for an answer. It's just to me all about the goal. Where do I want to go? Is all I'm looking at, and that is it. And from when I went to South Africa, that was the first year. I was invited again for the second year. The response was amazing. The people there loved my work. And in 2013, I was among those nominated for Emerging Designer of the Year. I mean, this to me, I was like, Jesus, are you serious? Like, what is going on? And everything to me kept going on really, really fast. And I felt like, okay, now I've been nominated. I don't feel like I'm ready. There's always that thing in you, like, oh my God, I don't think I'm ready. I don't think I'm ready. And this not being ready was what really just pushed me even to develop myself more in school and to really take it at heart because my overall goal was to be able to create now a sustainable plan for my brand. Like where am I seeing my brand in 5 years, 10 years? Where do I see my brand selling in stores? Who are my competition? Then I started carving those things and also having the answers. Because sometimes I'm in school and I'm asking the professors like live questions like, okay, so how can I define my client? I need the right words. I need the terminology. And also from my school, I also got the opportunity to do an internship in one of the biggest fashion houses in New York City at Donna Karan. There you're learning everything to like what you learn in school, you experience it there and it's like, oh wow. So this is what it really is. So the process to me is amazing, and that is really what I want to be able to share with the rest of the world. The art institutes in general launch two fashion weeks in a year. So they have a really solid partnership with Mercedes-Benz. And for this session, it was just the Art Institute of New York City. For the fall segment, it's all of the art institutes. So that is even like a tighter competition. So for this one, we were about 80 of us, plus or minus, between 70 and 80. And what we needed for the audition process was to make two garments, which we had to bring, come up with our inspiration board, our mood board, our color story, and the sketches. So I don't want to think of my process because I was like crying and crying before the show, before the audition. But that was the process. So you go to the jury, which is made of the schools, like the head of departments and a couple of really solid people in the industry and the faculty of the Art Institute. And you talk to them about your concept, why this topic, your inspiration, and why your sketches are the way they are, your garment. So you technically have to explain your entire creative process. And you have to make them understand what you want to be able to share with the rest of the world through those garments. And also you have to be able to now show them the pieces that you've already made, because your pieces have to be up to the standard to show at Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week. So these are things I could not have done 5 months earlier than when we did the audition. But I cannot imagine how much I learned in that short space of time. And I think it's really because I wanted it. I would get my professor in the lobby in school to teach me how to color my sketches, to make them, to give life to the sketches. I would go extra classes for sewing. I would do extra tutoring. So, I mean, the process was really rigorous. I remember after the audition, I cried so much, and then I gave up because they were taking like a long time to give the results, and I was like, oh my God, I was panicking every single day and every single day. Even though it's something that I had done before, I've done shows before, but it was just a completely different experience, and I felt me pouring myself into the entire process, which was great. When I came to school on this fine Monday morning and they had pasted the results on the notice board, I had been so wanting to see these results that I had completely given up. So I remember that morning I went to the notice board and I was taking a picture of another competition that the school was launching for textiles designs. So I was like, oh, okay, since that is not coming out, let me just do this other competition. And I took the picture and I'm walking to class and I see a group of girls say, oh, Kibonen, congratulations. I'm like, what's going on? They're like, oh, did you not go to the board? I'm like, oh my God, I'm in. I screamed so hard. I just started hitting myself and just covering my head. It was so, I could not believe it. I took a picture of it and I realized I don't even know who to text this to. Like, I was so overwhelmed. Okay. Then I was like, okay, it means that this is really what has to be. I went back home. I sent an email to the entire jury thanking them enormously. And I just made them understand, it really came from the bottom of my heart. Today they might be picking me, but it's not me. They're helping me inspire an entire generation of people who are looking up to me as an example, or an entire generation of people who might have thoughts but don't have the ability or the courage to be able to pursue it. And my collection actually is going to be really cute. From the day that I did my audition to, I've been looking at my clothes and I want to just wear them. Like, I eventually had to pull out the dress which I used for the audition and I wore it to an event because I was just dying to wear them. And this is the thing about me and my creations. Like, I like creating pieces that I can wear. And I like creating pieces that I can just pick up tomorrow and wear. That is so interesting to me. I don't like creating pieces that I have to wait for a specific day and a specific event to wear them. And that is the feel I want to get from everybody who would be at the audience. I just want people to be able to see them and be like, oh my God, I wish I can wear this like tomorrow, because that's what's going to get them flying off the racks. And also, my biggest goal out of this is not just to be able to attract investors, because I feel like I'm at a point where I've done so much, I have learned so much. Right now, I just need the right amount of funding to be able to pull it out. And also, I'm hoping that the buyers will be sitting in there. I would laugh at this every time I think of it, but I really visualize my stuff at the windows of Bergdorf Goodman. So hopefully, the buyers could be sitting in there and be like, oh, okay, this person, these clothes are good. I mean, they'll totally be different from what their regular store, like their aesthetics would be. But, it never hurts to try something different. And until you try it, you'll never really be able to really say, oh, this is not for our clients. Because the taste and the vision for the modern client today it's varied. You could think, oh, this person likes clean cuts and slick thing. No, but the person who wants to throw in some prints, put in some color. So my collection is very vibrant, very colorful. My aesthetics is very clean and minimalist, but the contrast comes with the bold colors, the bold patterns, and the prints.